not wiping his face of bone, brain, or blood. He was in shock. He was thinking, too, about the kill. My father had hunted deer, rabbit, and raccoons for their meat. He'd eaten too many grouse during long spells in the bush, killing them with his axe when they popped their heads up from the snow, and then boiling the carcasses with rice and seasoning. Twice he had tried bear, neither the result of his own shooting, and found the meat greasy and hard to digest. Something else kept him squatting next to the corpse in the gathering dark and cold, 10 miles from town or camp. It was the whistle the animal had emitted from its shattered snout. In the final intake of breath, the last exhale, my father had detected a sigh. He knew he wasn't mistaken. He couldn't make such a notion up. A sigh of recognition? Sadness? Spring had finally bloomed, and the forest was coming alive. Might the bear have been off to meet a female, hence the distracted state, and make a baby, and then look after his new mate? The lovers eventually basking in the long days of summer, fish in the rivers and berries in the bushes. That sounded all right. That sounded like a life. Not now, though. Not ever. My father caught himself. Without another glance, he rose and resumed hiking, only now back into town, 3 hours at a trot, never out of breath. Along with a flashlight, he used the brilliant harvest moon flickering through branches as aid, occasionally checking his compass. He also sang Hank Williams tunes to keep himself calm and warn away other forest creatures, remembering how he had jitterbugged with his new gal to Hey Good Looking and Jambalaya in the Harmonic Hotel the other Saturday night. Williams, his favorite musician, had died the year before, aged just 29. Of booze and pills, or so it was said. What a shame. During his 4 years in the bush, my father had driven a jeep into a lake. The brakes failed, he'd bailed in the nick, and gone snowblind, huddling in a tent for days until he regained his sight. He had exchanged gunfire with a rival, hearing and feeling a bullet rush past his ear, and survived 2 months off the grid, not seeing a single other human, following logging roads and Indian trails. In town, he had brawled in taverns, using a beer bottle as a weapon, and succumbed to pneumonia, sweating it out in a hotel serving as a sick ward. Now he had survived a bear in the bush. He was thin, quick, and coiled, and almost never afraid. He could survive a lot more. And the girl, a volunteer nurse during the pneumonia outbreak, was a keeper. Her name was Myriel Fallu. She was second youngest of 14 children born to a mill worker in Blind River, a town along the north channel of Lake Huron. A dozen of the kids survived, 11 of them girls. When my father met her, Myriel was 20 and had lately nursed her exhausted mother through her final months. My father proposed to her and she accepted on the condition he find work in town. They married in 1955. 2 years later, the couple moved south to Toronto, where he landed a job building bomb shelters for the Army. They bought a house in the suburbs and made 3 kids of their own. My father was rust-haired and cobalt-eyed, shy of smile and more so of soul. Not tall, he traveled low to the ground, legs muscular and gut ballooning. He was born, he liked to declare, David Aloysius, Horatio Debussy, Charles Patrick, Joseph Michael Lloyd Morton Foran, a faux pomp run-on of names he claimed as his ancestry. All the while, he was playing a hand closer by his own reading to that of an orphan, dealt no-face cards, forever obliged to bluff. He'd had parents, but they, it seemed, never had him. Certainly not his developmental needs, not his emotional welfare, nor his back. One parent he eventually lost directly to alcohol, and the other indirectly to war. But both lived for decades into his adulthood, estranged equally from each other as they were from their only son, and so my father struggled most days of his life with wounds he could not readily identify, let alone heal. His eyes could be laughing and sorrowful.